Hello YouTube and welcome to lesson 10 of the Adobe Muse tutorial series, and today we're going to talk about what web fonts are inside of Adobe Muse and how do we use it. So if you viewed my as animation tutorial, then you might be familiar with web fonts. Web fonts are a collection of fonts hosted by Adobe itself, so even if the system doesn't have it, you can actually load the web fonts. So over here, the usual way and the traditional way to design a website is to use standard fonts. That is, but that does have a limitation on how the design will be like. Another method is to use the system fonts, which is not a good idea because the other system might not have the fonts and the web page that you intended to load won't load in the same way that you want it to look like. So here we can use something like a web font. Let's say, for example, for this, I can actually select this, and over here you can see that there's a section called web fonts. So web fonts are hosted directly in Adobe's server, and what it enables you to do is whenever you load a website, it loads the font onto the system, onto the user system beforehand. The web page loads so that you get the design that you want. So over here, let's just get started, and in the As web font section, you can see that there are a lot of fonts that you can actually use. So you can use all of these fonts without having to worry that it won't work on the other side. So you can search for the web fonts as well, or you can filter the web fonts according to the type of the web fonts that you want to use. Let me use scripted fonts like this. This is similar to how you would use web fonts in Adobe as Animate, which is a great animation software, and I have a tutorial on that as well, so you can check that out as well. So I'm going to use the cookie font and just press OK. What it does is then it downloads the font onto the web fonts menu, and on the web font over here you can choose the cookie font right there, and you can see that the font is applied. And if you were to preview this in any browser, even in mobile phones and everything else, it'll load the font first from the Adobe server and then will apply that font to the web page, so that will actually maintain a maintain a very good look to the website. So it gives you a lot of creative freedom. So let me just preview this page in browser, and you can see that the font is there, and it loads it from the Adobe server, even though I have not installed this font onto my system. So this is how web fonts work inside of Adobe Muse. Hope you guys learned something as always, and as always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.